Hi guys, thank you for watching Cooking with Amy. Today we are going to make a healthy little dish. It's going to be really simple, it's going to be really easy. It's it's kind of easy. Let me just put it out there, it's kind of easy. We're taking some zucchini, we're hollowing them out, and we're going to fill it with a yummy, delicious filling. So let me show you what I kind of got going on so far. So I've kind of done some prepping. It's because it's, like I said, it's somewhat easy and you know, it just takes some time. So in my pan here, say hi, Budster. Okay, so anyways, so in my pan, I've got some mushrooms. I got some, I swear to God, I think somebody took a hold of the Jolly Green Giant because those suckers are huge. So we're gonna cut some of those up. We've got some garlic we're gonna put in there. These are our zucchinis that I hauled out. I have one to kind of show you of what to get, and I'm going to show you how I hollowed them out. But anyways, in our pan, because we want to start getting this to work down, this is going to be part of our filling. It's all going to be veggies. So I've got mushrooms, I've got the insides from the zucchinis, I've got a leek, I've got yellow zucchini, and I've got an onion. And then what we're going to do is I chopped up some really, like 3 big cloves of garlic. We're going to throw that in there. And then we also have some ricotta cheese, which we might need to add some more. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see how this breaks down. And then also we're also going to add some spinach in it as well. So let's get this on the stove so it can go start cooking. Okay, we're going to kind of leave that there just for a minute to get it going. So I'm going to show you, well, actually we're going to chop up these mushrooms real quick, the Jolly Green Giant ones. So all I did with everything that I had, so you can kind of see, let's move this. So all I did is with these ones, I just give it a good rough chop. That's all I did. Because once you cook them with mushrooms, they tend to shrink down a bit. So I'm not too worried about them, you know. If we wanted to make them pretty, we can. But they're all gonna be mixed in together with all the goodies. So we're gonna throw this in our pan. And basically what we're gonna do, we're just gonna cook those down. And then same thing with our garlic. We're gonna throw our garlic in there real quick too. Grab some more of this. Okay, and then I'm gonna show you how I did this. So I wanted to show you what kind of size zucchini. I mean, you can use really whatever size you want. Cat's playing with the door. So what you want to do is I just grabbed some big ones, and we actually had some nice, good, decent sized ones at our store. So I grabbed some of these. All I do is I cut the tops off, I cut the bottoms off, and then what I do is, see, that's kind of a good, I figured that's a good size for eating. And then I just kind of do just a little bit more. See, I mean, they're all kind of different lengths, but you get the gist of what you need to do. Now this one here is a little bit too long. What I did with the other one, because it was a little bit too much, is I did cut a little bit of the top off. Cut it up and put it in with the rest of your stuff. It's part of your filling. So and then what I'm gonna do is on the inside, what you wanna do is take a small little paring knife. Be careful though. I like to kind of get it started. So I'm gonna do this without hurting myself. See how you kind of gotta go through. Kind of get that middle cut out. And then if you want to, you can also use a spoon. But be careful, because what I noticed with some of the spoons is that when you try and turn it, it goes into the side. And it was breaking them. See how that was doing? I mean, you can still use them. It's not a big deal. I used a spoon for those. But you can just go in, just kind of break it up a little bit, and then kind of scoop it out. And then with this stuff here, you can take and add to your filling as well. So none of it goes to waste. I hope you guys had a great week. I am so sorry about last week that I didn't do, cooking with Amy, but it's been kind of a week. I I needed some time off. Life was getting a little bit busy. So again, like I said, just kind of go through, break it up. And then once you kind of get that main filling stuff out, you can kind of go through. See how I'm doing here? Getting all that goodies out. And see, like I said, some of it kind of breaks off when you do it this way. I think the first time I did it, I just took my knife and just kind of quartered it out. But I thought, you know, let's try and find a safer way of doing it because I don't want you guys to cut yourself. So, but as you can kind of see, you can kind of roll it around, get that inside out. And if you wanted to take your knife too, see how you're doing, how I'm doing it in there. Just kind of scrape it out, just a little bit. And then all you need is just a little hole in there because that's where we're gonna put all of our goodies in. And like I said, we can take this, cut it up. Again, just chop it. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything like that because it's all gonna break down when you cook it. I hear it sizzling over there. It sounds good. So let's go ahead real quick. I'm gonna do this with the knife so we can kind of get this in there with the other stuff. So you can probably use your knife and kind of carve all of that out. And just use your spoon and just kind of go in and scrape it. And just kind of go on the other side. Oops. See, just broke that off again. Oops. That's okay though. That is okay. Alright, we're going to put that one in. We're going to scrape this one out real quick. So like I said, the stuff that's on the stove is already starting to start cooking. We really want, to me, okay, so for me, I like my stuff really cooked, especially when we're going to be doing it in here. So I really like mine sauteed. And that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be sauteing this stuff really, really good. Oops. Let's get some of this out. Try not to break it, but I'm trying to get the rest of it out of there as well. Okay. So that's good enough. We're gonna put that in there. So like I said, let's give these a real quick chop and we'll throw them in with the rest of stuff and we'll start getting that stuff going. Like I said, it's gonna break down when you cook. So let's get this over here. And believe it or not, you guys, that's it for chopping. Get all of your chopping out of the way, then the rest of it is really easy. So we're gonna go ahead and start mixing this up a bit. Look at all of that yumminess. Look at this. So I haven't put any seasoning in this yet. All it is just the veggies. Oops, sorry you guys can't see me. So the only thing that's in here is just the veggies that we're making. And like I said, I like to break them down. I know this looks like a lot, but when I made this, I actually made this last week, but this time I have a little bit more veggies in it. Or, well, I should say a little bit more mushrooms. And I liked it so much I wanted to do it again. And also, too, when I made this last week, I didn't put any sauce on it. So I'm going to show you two different ways on what you can do with it. You can put sauce on it. You can take marinade and put it on here. You can take, what do you call it? I don't know, whatever sauce you want. You can take Alfredo sauce and put it on here if you want. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, since this is starting to break down, is we're gonna add start adding some of our flavors. Now I know I already added some garlic in here, but I like things garlicky. So we're gonna do a good pinch of salt, 2 of them. We are going to add a little bit more garlic, just in case that little amount that I gave wasn't enough. And then, up here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some pepper. And I think last time when I made this, like I said, I just kind of made this up. I've seen, you know, the stuffed zucchinis and stuff like that before, but I don't know what they put in it. I never looked it up. So if you wanted to put, you know, meat in this, you can. You can actually maybe grind up some turkey. You can grind up some beef, you know, whatever you want. You can put it in with this, you know, maybe put a little bit less veggies in here. I just really have been craving veggies. And the thing is if I don't use all of this tonight, it's okay. I can save it and I can just have it all on its own. It's going to be delicious. All right. So this is all starting to work down. What I want to do too is I am going to take, I'm going to take some spinach. And I'm just putting the whole bag of spinach in there, just because I know it's going to break down. And that's one thing I wish I added more to it last week, was more spinach. And just let it cook down. And see, all this is going to break down. You're thinking, holy cow. Yeah, no, this will all break down. It'll all get incorporated. It's going to get in here. It's going to be delicious. All of those juices from the squash, from the mushrooms, everything is all going to incorporate all this, and it's going to break it all down, and it's going to be delicious. Now, that's the reason why I didn't put any avocado oil in here or any olive oil, is because I know that with these veggies, they're going to release their own juices. And as this cooks, if we need to add more flavoring, we can add more flavoring. If you want to add some more spices, you can. We can probably even add some Italian seasoning if you want. You can add some oregano if you want. I might try it this time, but I think instead of adding it to this one, I'm going to add it to the filling. We might add some oregano or some Italian seasoning. I think I'm kind of craving that. But see how all that spinach, it's all starting to break down. Everything in here is starting to break down and cook. That's what we wanted. And this is why I used a whole bag of spinach, is because it's going to help break all that down. And it gives it some color. I mean, look how pretty that looks. Yeah. All right, we're going to let this do its thing. We're going to start making the other part of the filling. Oh, that looks so good. Let's grab the Italian seasoning. Let's see. Maybe we'll grab it. There we go, found it. Okay, Italian seasoning. All right, so what we're going to do is we're gonna grab some more of that. Just because I know I have a whole lot that's coming in, or I'm making a whole lot more than I did last week. I don't know why. I'm making way much more. All right, I think I just might add, like I said, if there's any left over, I can make something else with it too. I mean, you know. I had some left over last week. I mean, not a whole lot, but I had some left over. I kind of just ate it plain. It was really, really good. I liked it. All right. So we're going to do some Italian seasoning. It's not much left, just put back in there. So it's probably like what, maybe a tablespoon or so. And then we are going to put some Parmesan cheese. We're going to break it up some. Put some parm in here. We are going to put I like putting garlic in here too. We're gonna add more garlic, like you guys said, or like I said, I love garlic. So we're gonna add some more of that. We're gonna add some more salt, just a couple little pinches, and then some pepper. We're gonna add more pepper. Because again, this is going to be a lot. I mean, we can probably even put a little more oregano in there, but we'll see. Because what we're gonna do with this is that mixture that we're cooking on the stove right now, all the veggies, it's gonna, you know, I'm gonna let it cool just for a few minutes, but it's all gonna be mixed in with this. And then we're gonna just stuff our zucchinis. Oh my goodness, this looks so good. So now the thing is like, you don't have to use, so I used cottage cheese, and that's just because what I had in the house. I didn't want to go out and buy more food to, you know, try and figure out how to do everything. I like that. We can probably add a little bit more of this, just a smidge. But you can use ricotta if you want to. Like I said, this is just what I had in the house, and I kind of wanted to use up what I had. So, that's so yummy. I love that Parmesan cheese taste in here. Like I said, I was just kind of playing with this recipe. Like I said, you can put whatever you would like. You can put meat in here. You can like do the veggies and stuff like that and do this if you want. And then just take some meat and put some, you know, some meat in there if you want. I keep seeing a piece of hair. So anyways, so like I said, you can take it and put whatever you want with this. And that's what I'm gonna do with this. That's what I did last week when I made it, and I absolutely loved it. It was absolutely delicious. So that's basically all we need to do for that. Now let's go check out our veggies and see how they're doing, because I'm sure they need to be stirred. Look at that. Oh my goodness. See how it's breaking down? And see, you're getting all of that water that's in here from all of this. I want this to cook until that's almost evaporated. Because we don't want all of this water to go in with all of our ricotta. Well, we can if we want, but I don't. So I'm going to cook this until it gets really good and it gets, you know, it starts evaporating a lot of that water. There's other things you can do. Like I have some pancetta in there. If I wanted to, you can kind of throw some of that in here if you want. I feel like I'm getting a veggie bath right now. Let's go over here. So if you want, you can always put some pancetta and mix it in with it. It's totally up to you. Like I said, it's whatever you guys want. Let me try this again. Yep. We don't need to put any more salt. We don't need to put any more garlic. Because it has just a little bit of a good taste to it. It has, you can really taste the Parmesan cheese in it, which is good. If you wanted it to put, like I said, if you wanted to put like a sauce on it, you can. Oh, that's what we're gonna get. So don't forget. So I wanted to try this. I made this earlier. I made some butternut squash, and I've done this before. So I take my butternut squash and I roasted it, and I loved it. And I just put a little bit of salt, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of pepper, put some olive oil or avocado oil on top of it. And then I let it bake at 400 in the oven. And then I take my little immersion blender or hand blender and I blend it. And then this one here, I actually used some, excuse me, good pepper. I used some half and half and I put it in here. But I was thinking if you wanted to make it not, you know, without the dairy, you can probably take some coconut milk, like just not the, well, I was gonna use my almond milk and do it. I've done that before, but I actually got the flavored one. I got the vanilla flavored one. So that I don't think would have gone good with this. But if you got just a regular non-dairy kind of milk, you can put that in here, or you can actually get some vegetable broth or some beef broth. Depends on how you want to make it. You can put that in here and kind of mix it in. I left mine a little bit thicker. I made this around noontime, so, but it's a little bit thick. It's not, it's, you know, not like a mashed potato, but it's almost like a cold soup if you wanted to. I love it like that. I can eat this forever. But I am gonna add just a little bit more salt. And I wanna add just a little bit more garlic to it. Just a smidge. You know me, my garlic, I love my garlic. Then I'm gonna add a little bit more pepper. I feel like it needs some more. So I'm stirring our veggies real quick. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is, we're gonna kind of stick with the same theme here. Now, like I said, if you wanted to thin this out more, you can. I'm gonna add, and I left it this a little bit thick like this so I can show you. This is what our sauce is gonna be for one of them. Now you can take your immersion blender and keep doing this. I've already washed mine and kind of put it away. So I'm just gonna hand mix it. And if you want it thinner, like I don't want mine too thin, but this is going to be my sauce that I'm gonna put on top of my veggies. I'm not gonna do it like, or my stuffed zucchinis. I'm not gonna do all of them, but I wanna try it with it, because the other ones, when I made it last week, I really was trying to figure out everything that I had in my fridge. So I had like all of the stuff except for this. I didn't have this, but I had cheese and I put cheese on top of it, melted it, and oh, it was delicious. So let me see. That is so delicious. What I always like to do is I like to take some of this stuff and mix it. That's gonna be good together. That's how so really that's how I cook. Like I will take some things, like if I don't think this is gonna be meshed up good together, I won't do it. But if I think they taste good together and they kind of marry together, then I'll put it on there. This is how I try out and I make different things, or how I experiment with my foods. And I actually like this. I think I would have liked this a little bit more if I used some of my chicken broth, or if I used some of my vegetable broth. But I didn't want to open it up just to use just a little bit, because I'm going to use some of that broth later on this week. I've been on a veggie kick again. Like I just want to do veggies. So that's why we're doing all this veggie stuff. Don't get me wrong, I still do my meats. I did meat the other night. But yeah, I love veggies. And it's funny because growing up, it was always like chicken and salads and potatoes and stuff like that. But yeah. But see how this is all starting to break down? And look, let me show you. See how some of that water is starting to kind of disappear? We've still got some over here, but if you look over here between all the steam, but see how it's starting to kind of evaporate? That's what we want. That's what we want. We want all of that juice to kind of go away. That juice kind of helped bring everything in, made it nice and tender. Getting all of those veggies cooked. Yeah. And then we just kind of want to break it down and just kind of bring it in and just kind of like, just let it cook. I usually like it when I do mine, like when I do my veggies, if I do them one at a time, I kind of like to really like have the onions, like saute those first, and the mushrooms, saute them, and then kind of start adding everything in. But I kind of wanted to do everything tonight, because even if it's like this, it's perfect. It's going to be delicious. We can use a spoon that kind of breaks out the juice, but yeah, this is going to be yummy. Oh my goodness, I can't. And so when I do have my oven preheating, it's at 400. I had just turned it on before we came on, or I came on. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is going to be so yummy. So this weekend, a friend of mine does every year. We've kind of been doing this for almost 5 years now. We've been doing this thing called a luau, which a group of us, and it started with just kind of like inviting people from our Bible study, but ended up being, because we're all part of a community of single people, and we ended up doing this thing called a luau. And a friend of ours hosts it at his house because it's big enough to hold enough people. And we all do like a potluck. Everyone brings something. So I'm going to be making 2 different dishes. So I had posted on here, I had made these hamburgers and I made them stuffed burgers. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to create something, and maybe I'll film it. I don't know. It depends on how much time I have because I've got a lot of stuff going on. So I'm going to take some hamburger meat. I'm going to stuff it with probably just cheese, and then and get a big, those big round loaves of bread, like sourdough bread or something, cut that in half and kind of make a big, huge, giant burger with it. And then also I wanted to make like a big, for a dessert, like make a big, huge Twix. So yeah, we're going to experiment this weekend and kind of have some fun. And I'm only doing this because I'm going to be feeding a lot of people. Well, it's going to be for a lot of people they can pick and, you know, whatnot. So I'm kind of excited to do that. Let's see what else. And I'll post pictures on those and the recipe and what I do and stuff like that. So, but yeah, but you guys look how easy this dinner is turning out to be. We're just waiting for the vegetables to kind of finish burning off some of that water. And it's getting there slowly. But see how you kind of go through when I do it, that water kind of like goes away. It's not as much. It's getting a little bit more dried up. That's what we want. We want more of that. So we'll kind of let it cook a little bit longer. You guys, I can't believe summer is almost over. It's almost, well, it is September. What am I saying? Today's September 1st. But yeah, oh my goodness. I can't believe it. And this Monday is going to be my birthday. Holy cow. I'm going to be old. But, you know, it's going to be a great weekend, you guys. It's going to be a 3-day weekend for one. And it's a great holiday celebrating, you know, all of the people that have fought for us and made our country the way it is. And I think right now it's like, and I've been kind of thinking a lot, and with everything that's been going on, I'm like, this is a great time to like spend time with people and just love on them and hug everyone that you have. You know, I don't know. Just saying. All right, you guys, let's check this out a little bit more. And just be thankful for all the people that are in our lives and that has, you know, fought and, you know, have worked, you know, gone to war and stuff like that, and just thank them because of them we are where we are, you know, as our country. I don't want to make this a political kind of thing because that's a whole different show right there. Let me tell you, it's a whole different, that's a whole different topic. But yeah, I just, you know, be thankful. Be thankful for the people that you have in your life, and say thank you to our military, and say thank you to, you know, their families that have their sons and their daughters, and just embrace everyone. I feel like I'm getting a vegetable, what do you call it? Veggie facial. All right, I am going to say we're going to be done with this. I mean, I could cook it a little bit longer, but I think we're going to be fine because we're going to put it in the oven. I mean, the veggies are pretty much done. I mean, the water's, if you look. The water's pretty much out of it. There's just a little bit, like right there. Whoops. Right there, there's a little bit, but that's okay. I've got this. It'll drain most of it out. So let's go over here. Let's grab a hot pad. put that down so I won't burn myself, because I'm really good at burning myself with this pan, like even like right now. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and put all that loveliness. I think last time I did, I kind of gave it a few minutes to let it cool off, but we're not going to tonight. Just take all of this yummy veggies. I mean, look at this. Look how yummy all of that vegginess looks. Dump it in there. I mean, this stuff is going to be delicious. And I only know that because I made it last week. All right, let's get some of this kind of mixing up in here. You guys can kind of see my little mixture going on here. Yep, some more. And like I said, if we don't use all of this, it's okay. We can make something else with it. Oh, we can just eat it. It's delicious. I'm telling you, it's just delicious. See how we're doing here. And all I'm doing is just mixing this in with all of this goodness. And this is going to be our filling. Now, if you want to have a little bit more protein with it, you can probably take some like some kidney beans, or maybe even some black beans. You can throw them in here if you want. I'm just doing all veggies, but I kind of thought of that afterwards. Like if you wanted to do that, you can throw, you know, if you wanted a little bit more protein. That is going to be good. We do need to add a little bit more of this. Just saying. Because that's also going to help soak up some of that juice from the veggies. And that's why I always start off with a little, and then when I keep adding and keep adding, you can add more ingredients if you need to. Because you know, this is a big bowl. This is more than I made last week. But oh my goodness, it looks delicious. A little bit more of these veggies. And if you wanted to, like I have a frozen pizza in there. Well, I have a frozen pizza crust that I want to try. It's a cauliflower one. And it's all like really good ingredients in it. And I think like even if I wanted to, because since I don't do, you know, like red sauce or anything, I don't have any sauces made, that you can even probably take, like if you didn't want to use all of these veggies that you had, you can probably take it, well, I guess you could. You can take it and put it on top of that if you wanted to, is what I'm trying to say. Or you can take some puff pastries, stuff some of this stuff in it and put it in there. I mean, you know, depends on what you're going for. If you want something, you know, low carb, this is a good way of doing it. All right, that is good. Now, here's the easy part. All you have to do, like I said, I've already got some of these cut out. All you're gonna do is take these fillings and you're just gonna plop them in there. You're gonna stuff these little babies. You guys can see what I'm doing. So you just pop it in there, get all of those veggies in there, that sauce. Like I said, I'm gonna show you two different ways on how I'm gonna top them. And that's where the other sauce comes in from. Just stuff these babies and like just put all of that goodness in there. It'll work its way down to the bottom and it'll be delicious. That is already delicious. I mean, just eating it like that would be perfect too. I think I did that last time too. I just kind of took whatever was left over and just ate some of it. Put a little bit more on that one. Trying to. Just pack it down, you know, put it in. Yeah, we're gonna have tons left over. We're gonna have lots left over. I don't know, maybe I'll make some of this for the weekend. Or save some of it for this weekend. I'll make something with it. I've never heard anybody complain yet so far. my little creations. People will try and say, oh my God, that's really good. So far, we'll see. I'll come up with something delicious for everyone this weekend. I'm excited for this. And yes, you can overstuff them if you want. We've got lots of stuffing left over. I definitely made way too much this time. Last time I made the perfect amount. This time I kind of overdid it. But that's okay. It is definitely okay. Trying to get these filled up as much as I can. Because when they come out, all of this, when you pick it up, it all comes out with us. You don't have, the nice thing is like you don't have to wait for it to cook so long. You just basically have to cook the squash that it's in, because all of this stuff is already cooked. Okay, I think we're gonna call that good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you two different ways. So what I did last week is I just took some cheese, some shredded cheese, and all I did was take it and just put it on top. And you can put as much as you want. I like a lot, just cheesy. We're just gonna put cheese on all of them. It all out. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is with some of this, like this is like a butternut squash. So I love this. You can just do it as a soup if you want, or what I'm going to do on this one here is I'm going to put a little bit on top of them. You can put a lot if you want. I just want this to be the sauce. I mean, look at that. Look at how yummy that is. And we'll just do one more over here. We'll do that. We'll just leave it like that. We'll try it that way. All right, we're gonna stick these in the oven real quick. But look, let me just show you before I do. Look at all that yummy cheese on there. All of that butternut squash sauce that's gonna be on there. Hold on. We're just gonna cover that little bitty one up. All right. Okay, like I said, my oven is set at 400. We're gonna put the timer on for 30 minutes. Oops. And then voila. So this one here, so we'll talk about the butternut squash. So this is the butternut squash. Like I said, all I did is I cut it in half and I roasted it in the oven. I put a little bit of salt and pepper and garlic on it and some avocado, either avocado or olive oil, whatever you have. Put that on top of it, you know, kind of rub it around real quick, just make sure it's nicely coated. Just bake it in the oven until they're nice and tender. Sometimes I like to do mine with a little bit of crispy on it, but you know, until it's nice and tender. And then all I did is I used my immersion stick. I know I'm saying that wrong, but anyways, my handheld blender. Blended it up, and I this time I used some half and half. You can use milk. You can use if you want to do it dairy free. You can use some coconut milk if you want, or if you want to use some almond milk. I was going to use almond milk tonight, but I forgot that I bought the flavored almond milk, so I didn't get the unflavored one. But that's okay. This still turned out really good. You can actually, I think usually when I make this, I use it with either chicken broth or vegetable oil, or not vegetable oil, sorry, vegetable broth. You can kind of use the broth if you want to make it a little more of a soupy. Like I said, I wanted to make this as my sauce. See how somewhat thick it is? So when you put it in the oven, it's not gonna be, it's put it this way, it's a little bit thinner than when you have it when you first take it out and you mash it. So we made it a little bit thinner. You can make it thinner if you want. You can eat it cold. It's perfect. You can kind of put this on anything. It can be like a cold soup. Like if you add more broth to it. Or so if you're gonna make a soup out of it, I would use a broth. I would either use chicken or vegetable broth in here, and I would kind of thin it out a little bit, and you can make it as a soup. And it's, let me tell you, it's really delicious. I love it. This is like one of my favorite things to make. Or even just taking them, like if you have them and you're cooking some steak or some chicken or whatever it may be, and if you cut your butternut squash in half, and then you just kind of cut it and make a nice little thick little sticks out of them, cook those up. You can make, you know, like little fries out of them. They're really, really good. I like them. Anyways, I can go on forever on how to do stuff with butternut squash while we're waiting for our stuff in the oven to come out. But like I said, I was experimenting last week. I was just playing around, and that's how I came up with this. I've seen some like spaghetti squashes, well, not spaghetti squashes, sorry. I've seen some with some squashes that people have cut them out, and they've stuffed them. So tonight, last week I kind of decided I'd experiment with it and try it out and kind of have whatever I had in the house. So, and that's what I did. And that's what we're doing again tonight because it was so delicious. It was really, really, really good. I had to share it with you guys. But yeah, anything happening with everyone else? Everyone having a good week? I hope so. Yeah, I think we finally kind of got the smoke out of, you know, where we live. It's been pretty smoky, and, you know, I'm praying for everyone and their families and, you know, all the fires and everything that's going on in our area. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, I can't wait. But, yeah. And then I had a family that I ended up cooking a couple meals for them because they were evacuated from their house, and there were some people from church. So I ended up making some stuff for them. I saw her last week, and her family was very grateful and thankful that, you know, I did that for them. And I did it gluten-free because they had gluten allergies, so they were thankful for that as well. And I had to make sure everything that I was using, there was one dish I was going to make, and I kind of realized that one of the sauces that I was using, and I had to look at it because one of the stuff that was in it wasn't gluten-friendly, so I had a non-gluten-free, I think it was an oyster sauce. So yeah, I ended up keeping that, and me and my roommate ate it. But you know, with all these fires and stuff like that going on and everything going crazy here in California, it's, you know, I'm just praying that we can get them all under control and they're all done. Yeah, it's kind of hard to wipe out some of our communities. There's one of them that they wiped out, was like one of the schools that we used to go when I was growing up, that we went to, and we used to play that whole town. So it was, you know, listening to all of some of the places that were being burnt down and stuff like that, it was, you know, just kind of hitting home of us being kids. I don't know why I keep opening. It's only been 5 minutes. I think I'm just excited. I'm excited for you guys to see it. You know, I have to show you guys something. We're going to go outside. So I've been saving some of my stuff. Or let me see. I gotta get my water boots on, or my yard boots. I'll show you in a minute. But I have some stuff growing. As a matter of fact, I had a spaghetti squash. When I cut it open, one of the seeds were already sprouting, or a couple of them were. So I'm like, let's mess with it and see. So I planted it, and you won't believe what I got. And then you won't believe what's in my compost. Yeah. I'm like, what? So I'm kind of excited to see if it will still keep growing and what it is. But I also have to show you this. So remember a couple weeks ago, I came out and I showed you guys how to, at least I think I remember I did this, but I was, I had cut back my basil, and I made all that basil. Look at that. It just went crazy. So I need to come back and I need to trim them again before the winter. But anyways, look, these are my asparagus. Look at those babies. I can't wait until next year. But there was this big, huge thing, like all of these loveliness was like everywhere. So I cut them back. As you can see, I cut back quite a few of them. And then now, couple days later, it's like boom. So the squash I had here, it just wasn't doing good, and it wasn't, I mean, it was big and huge, but I don't know, I just wasn't think it was doing great. But look at this craziness. Look at that. That's out of my compost. I don't know what all is growing. I'm not sure what this is, but look, that's my compost. Look how crazy that is. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a butternut squash or if it's a spaghetti squash, because this here is the spaghetti squash, and it looks, yeah, they're two different leaves. This is a different kind of leaf, so I'm not sure what this is, because this is my butternut squash. This is my butternut, the little plant that I planted, but I don't know if it's gonna make anything or do anything, just because, oh wow, look at that, it wrapped all the way around over there. So the other day when it came out, it was just there, and now it was like, boop. And then there's this thing. Oh, that's what this is. Oh my God, look. Look how pretty. So I wasn't sure what this was. So I had this little vine growing, and then I have that now popping out of it. I don't know, that wasn't what was in there before. Oh my God, look, I got a couple of them. How cute. Oh my God, I'm excited. I wasn't sure what this was, but look at this little vine kind of going crazy. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Yeah, look, I mean, it's just kind of going crazy everywhere here. Like it's wrapping, oh my God, look at that. It's like wrapping around itself. Look how cool that is. Yeah, I kind of water it and the dirt kind of comes out. But, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. It's a little viney plant. That is pretty awesome. So I'm wondering if the person, so let me show you real quick again. So this whole container, this container here, was actually in the bottom of this chair. And I had bought this chair from someone because I wanted the whole cute little, you know, country feeling. So they had, I can't remember what it's called. Oh, that tree grew back. So anyways, it had some, I want to say it's not poinsettias. That's not poinsettias. But anyways, it had some kind of plant that start with a P, that was growing in there, and they were so cute last year. So yeah, I can't believe that's actually like a little viney thing. And let me show you this here too. I don't know how well this is doing, or if it's doing great, but this is my mother of many, I think is what they call it. But they produce a bunch of these little flowers, then they fall off, then they kind of go into the ground on here, and they produce a whole bunch more. So yeah. And then these are ones I got last year. I don't know if I'm doing a good job at taking care of them. It's kind of like my first time doing it. And then I got a bunch of these little ones that were in here. They look like they're doing okay. I kind of broke them off when I planted them in there. And then this one here, a friend of mine for my birthday a couple years ago, she got me this little plant, and it was just a little thing. So I actually this year put it in the ground, put it there, and put it there. So then these ones here are growing, which I probably need to, break this one off and put it somewhere. See, yep, this is another one that's kind of, I need to come out and take care of these little guys. But yeah, look at these. It's my first time growing them, so I'm trying. They're pretty, they're cute. And then my little garden gnomer. This is my garden. I kind of need to come back and do some work on it. I've kind of been a little out of town, but that's my Donald duck. These guys just went crazy here. And these were beautiful, but for some reason they keep falling over when I water them. But let me show you this though. These are my strawberries. That's my lemon tree. That's my artichoke, but he hasn't produced anything, and I think it's because he's in that container. But look at all of these strawberries. These are all new growths of strawberries. So I'm going to have to come out this weekend, trim them off, and put them in a thing of water. That's what I did, and that's how I ended up getting this bucket. I got this bucket in the one that I just showed you, and I think with this bucket over here too. So, no, these ones are originals. But yeah, no, those are one of the originals. All right, let's go back in. Let's check things out. Hey, come here. You gotta leave those alone. Don't you be digging up my plants. Come on. He always has to check out everything that I just showed you guys. He's over there checking out my plants. Oh, you guys, I just came in the house and it smells so good. It smells so good. Oh, these are my boots. Let me show you. These are my boots. I walk these. Those are my outside boots. I always put those on when I go outside. See how many minutes? We've got 17 minutes left. I can't wait. All right. Yeah, so that's my little garden. I can't believe like all that stuff is popping up. And I can't believe that little vine thing. I didn't realize there was any flowers. I haven't gone out there in a day or so. So yes, I'm kind of excited that those are flowering. I just keep watering. So we'll see. We'll see how pretty, and hopefully they'll keep growing some more and they come back next year. So yeah, and the asparagus, I'm really excited about that. I can't wait until next year too when those start growing back in and we can actually start eating those as well. Shall we check on them, you guys? Let's see how they're doing. Ooh, look at that. Doesn't that look delicious, you guys? Oh, yum. Okay. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to try those. Those are gonna be so delicious. They're gonna be so, so yummy. So yeah, I'm trying to think of something else that we can cook. Maybe we can do I don't know, maybe this weekend. Maybe if I can get some friends that want to come over and I can cook, maybe I can make a big, huge, giant burger. We'll see how that goes. See if somebody wants to come over and have dinner with dinner over here one night, or I can go to their house and we can cook dinner, and maybe we'll make one big, huge, giant burger or something. Or we can make a dessert. That would be fun. Maybe we'll make a dessert one night and then the next night I'll have some friends over and we can have game night or something. That would be fun. Yeah. So you guys, I don't know if we want to wait because we're gonna have to wait like 17 more minutes. So how about I send you guys a picture and we'll post it on the website and you guys can see it when it's done, and I'll cut it in half and you guys can see what's inside of it as well. See how it looks. So we're gonna call it a night while we're waiting for this to cook. Like I said, it's almost done. We've got like about 15 more minutes, but as you can see, it is getting there. It is getting where we need it to be. The cheese is starting to get melty. That zucchini is starting to get all nice and delicious. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and post some pictures. We're gonna go ahead and call it a night. And oh, and also too, you guys, I know we have a ton of this left over. This here, you can just eat if you want, or you can take it, like I said, if you have a puff pastry, if you want to put it in a puff pastry, you can put it in a puff pastry. You can make, well, hopefully more zucchinis, and you can do that. Or you can take your zucchini, instead of doing it like how I did, you can cut them in half and make big logs out of them, scrape out the middle of it, put that on top of it and cook it. I'm like, you can kind of do whatever. I kind of was doing this one because I liked that it was kind of like smaller, but you know, you can do whatever you want with them. Let's see, what else can we do? You can actually, matter of fact, I have this too. I have some spaghetti squash out in the fridge, and I can take some of that spaghetti squash, cook it up, and put that in with it as well. And put some of this with it too, for the sauce. But yep, I mean, you just made a couple meals with this meal. I mean, yeah, you can kind of do whatever you want with them. All right, you guys, we're gonna call it a night. I will take some pictures and post some pictures of it when it's done. You guys have a good night. We'll see you next week, and thank you for watching Cooking with Amy.